A new study links using magic mushrooms to having better sex. Yeah, you heard that right. And we're going to talk about that today on Microdose U. I'm Dr. Dave. Thanks so much for being here.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
Hey, how are you? Dr. Dave, Microdose U. I appreciate you being here. We're going to talk about, I've been asked this so many times. Hey, Dr. Dave, if I microdose, am I going to have better sex? Is it going to be better for my sexual performance? Am I going to enjoy it more, or are things going to get worse? Because as you probably know, antidepressants, SSRIs, have been widely known to decrease sexual function and make sex like just not even fun anymore. You just don't even want to do it. And then a lot of people get off of their antidepressants, SSRIs in particular, because they can't perform well, they don't enjoy sex, and then they go back to being depressed. And it's a vicious cycle because when you're depressed, you don't really want to have sexual relations, and it's a big mess. So can you imagine if for some reason, if this is true, if magic mushrooms can truly increase or make your sexual experiences better in all ways? I mean, it's just another added benefit of microdosing for better health. Of course, I've been talking all along for over 3 years now about how microdosing magic mushrooms is just the answer, as far as I'm concerned, for depression and anxiety and PTSD and other mental health issues. But now added, and I've always said they're added bonuses. It's not just that. It just they make everything in your life clearer, and you just feel like you're alive again. And you feel like you want to do things, and you feel like you can do them in a better way. But now a new study linking magic mushroom experiences to better sex. I mean, hey, we'll take it, right? So this article I'm reading is from Forbes magazine. That's a verified, reliable source. This is not just National Enquirer or anything. Not that I've got anything against the National Enquirer. I don't read it, but that's been known to have a lot of exaggeration and hyperbole and things like that. Forbes is I think good reputation. So what they're saying is psychedelics, including psilocybin mushrooms and LSD, may improve sexual function for months after a psychedelic experience. And this is according to a new study from researchers at Imperial College in London. The study, which researchers believe is the first investigation into the effects of psychedelic drugs, what kind of effects they have on sex. It was published this week by the journal Nature Scientific Reports. Now, this article might be a little bit older, so it wasn't published this week, but it's recent enough for sure. What they're saying is our findings suggest potential implications for conditions that negatively affect sexual health, including clinical depression and anxiety, just what I said before. The author, Tomasaro, or whatever, Barba, said in a report on the new study, this is particularly significant given that sexual dysfunction, often induced by antidepressants, frequently results in that's what I just said, stopping these medications and then going into relapse. Because to many people, proper sexual function is extremely important in their lives. And if they're going to take feeling a little bit better on an SSRI, or a lot better, or having good sexual relations, they're going to take the latter. But then they're going to relapse. And again, like I said, it's going to be just a vicious cycle. It's a no-win because you're going to feel horrible. To conduct the study, researchers collected survey responses from nearly 300 participants before and after a psychedelic experience. Now, this article does not really talk about whether it's microdosing or macro. I'm assuming it's a little bit of a larger dose, but I don't think it says. Respondents, including included people taking psychedelics for recreational, wellness, or ceremonial purposes, and then also a group of participants in a clinical trial assessing the effect of psilocybin, the primary psychoactive compound in magic mushrooms, on depression. So two groups. Some were recreational users, some were actually in clinical trials for depression, treating for depression. Researchers then compared the survey results from both groups to explore how the psychedelic experience influenced several factors relating to sexual functioning. And without getting it deep into the study, I like to keep things simple on my show here. We don't go too deep. One day we might go deeper, but basically the bottom line is the analysis showed that on average, people reported improvements across a range of areas of sexual function up to 6 months after their psychedelic experience, including their enjoyment of sex, sexual arousal, satisfaction with sex, attraction to the partner, their own physical appearance, communication, and their sense of connection. Additionally, nearly half of the participants in the psilocybin clinical trial for depression reported improvements in interest in sex, sexual arousal, and satisfaction with sex. By contrast, people being treated with a leading antidepressant, as I said earlier, of course, you probably know this, antidepressant mostly reported decreases in sexual function. So the researchers believe that the findings of this study suggest the potential for therapeutic use of psychedelics in a range of application, including couples therapy, sexual dysfunction, etc. This is amazing if you think about it. I mean, how many people have sexual dysfunction? How many people have that? I mean, can you imagine microdosing or maybe a larger dose with magic mushrooms and helping or taking care of your sexual dysfunction, or your how much you're enjoying having sex, or how well you're able to perform? Can you imagine if this is the case? This is big, as opposed to SSRIs that do the total opposite. They mess with your sexual function. It's horrible. 300 people in this study. I think 300 people is semi-significant, right? When a good percentage of those are reporting positive results with sexual experience and sexual function, I'll take that. I'll take that as a yes. It's that it works. But again, I'm asked this question all the time. People ask me privately, Dr. Dave, if I'm going to be having, a sexual relation with somebody, is it okay to microdose, or is it okay to dose before that? I think we know the answer now, at least for many. I think we know the answer. I certainly would not recommend going on SSRIs and having the best sex of your life. That's not going to happen. That would be extremely unlikely. Being on an SSRI like Lexapro and saying the sex I'm having is fantastic, that would be very unlikely. It's probably not going to happen. So I think this is groundbreaking, in my opinion, if that's what you're looking for. Now, many people are just after taking care of their depression and other mental health issues, and that's great. But if you get an added bonus out of that, what the heck? Why not take the win? Take the win there. I also want to make sure that if you're new to me, if you don't know this yet, to check the show notes of every episode that I do here. Every episode show notes, I have links, important links that are going to help you along the way on your microdosing journey. And go to my website, microdoseu.com. I just had the whole thing revamped, microdoseu.com, and I'm constantly adding things to that. I've got all kinds of information, links, and whatever you need to know, answers to frequently asked questions. And we're starting up our webinar series again after the summer. Summer is just about over, or summer's over, I guess. Or people are back to school. Kids are back to school, right? Kids are back to school. That's generally when we think of the summer is over, I guess. I don't know. It used to be Labor Day, but now it's when the kids go back to school, the summer is over. Well, because the summer's over and we're starting up our webinar series, and the first one, I don't have. Let me see the exact title. I want to make sure I give you the right title. Well, I don't have it in front of me, but It's how to unpack the power of dreams. That's not the exact title because I'm not looking at it right in front of me, but it's gonna be a webinar on dreams and how you can evaluate dreams and how they affect your life. And it's going to be incredible. Dr. Denise is going to be running this one. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be hosting, but she's going to be the expert on dreams. She's a doctor of psychology. She deals with dreams every day of her life with her clients, and she's an expert on this. And also how to incorporate psilocybin into this. How, and again, you don't have to be using magic mushrooms to know about dreams. But the whole thing's we're gonna put it all together. It's gonna be incredible. So again, the link is on the website. I think it's simply also, I think it's always microdoseu.com/class. You can try that as well. It's free. We don't charge. We don't charge for the webinars. They're free. But if you can't find it that way, just we'll go on the website, microdoseu.com, or I think it should be in the show notes as well. You'll find it. We limit the number of people that can come to this free webinar. We don't want it. We don't want 5,000 people in this webinar because then, everybody's asking questions and it's like a free for all. So we limit it. So if you want in, make sure you sign up early. Sign up early. So I hope this really helps you today. My goal is to help. If you have any questions, if there's anything you want to know about, send me an email, send me a message. Join my Patreon page, Patreon, for premium Microdose U type material. We got coming at you from all directions. Brand new episode every Wednesday and Friday. I might have just already said that, but I'm not sure, so I'll say it again. And as you know, I do love you. I'm Dr. Dave, and see you in the next episode.